Have you ever been in a situation where you knew the English words, but when you opened your mouth, everything just sounded wrong? Like you were translating word by word in your head, and the person in front of you gave you that confused look. I know that feeling, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to break free from that robotic English and start sounding natural, confident, and fluent in just 7 days. Yes, 7 days. And no, I'm not exaggerating. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear, day-by-day plan that will transform the way you speak English forever. Let me ask you something. When you speak English, do you feel like you're performing? Like every sentence is a test you might fail? That's because most people learn English the wrong way. They memorize grammar rules, they study vocabulary lists, but when it's time to actually talk, their brain freezes. Why? Because sounding natural isn't about knowing more words. It's about using the right words in the right way at the right time. And that's exactly what we're going to master together this week. Now, I want you to imagine this. 7 days from now, you're having a conversation in English. Maybe it's with a colleague, maybe a stranger at a coffee shop, or maybe someone you meet while traveling. And this time, instead of hesitating and overthinking every word, you speak smoothly. You use expressions that native speakers use. You connect your ideas effortlessly. People understand you immediately, and better yet, they enjoy talking to you. That version of you is not a fantasy. It's absolutely possible, and it starts today. Let's dive into day 1. On your first day, you're going to focus on something incredibly powerful but often overlooked: filler words and natural reactions. You see, native speakers don't just say yes or no. They don't pause in silence when they're thinking. They fill those gaps with small, natural sounds and words that make the conversation flow. Words like well, I mean, you know, actually, honestly, and let me think. These might seem insignificant, but they are the glue of natural conversation. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone asks you, "Do you like your job?" If you just say, "Yes, I do," it sounds stiff, almost robotic. But if you say, "Well, honestly, I do. I mean, it has its challenges, but overall, yeah, I really enjoy it," suddenly you sound like a real person having a real conversation. You see the difference? You're not adding complicated grammar. You're just adding rhythm and personality. Here's your day 1 mission. Pick 3 filler phrases. Let's go with "I mean," and "actually." Throughout your day, whenever you speak English, even if it's just talking to yourself, use those 3 phrases. Practice saying things like, "I mean, I'm not sure, but I think so," or "Actually, that's a good question," or "I've been thinking about that." Do this all day long. Talk to yourself in the mirror, narrate what you're doing, pretend you're explaining something to a friend. By the end of day 1, these phrases will start to feel natural in your mouth. Now let's move to day 2, and this is where things get even more interesting. Day 2 is all about contractions and connected speech. One of the biggest signs that someone isn't a native speaker is that they pronounce every single word separately and clearly. But native speakers, they blend words together. They use contractions like I'm, you're, he's, we've, they'll, and won't. And they connect sounds in ways that make sentences flow like water. For example, instead of saying, "I am going to go to the store," a native speaker will say, "I'm gonna go to the store." Instead of "Do you want to come with me?" they'll say, "Do you want to come with me?" Notice how "do you" becomes "do you" and "want to" becomes "wanna." This isn't lazy English. This is real English. This is how people actually talk. Here's what you need to do on day 2. Write down 10 sentences you use regularly. Things like, "I have to go. What are you doing?" "I do not know. I am going to call you later." Now rewrite them using contractions and natural reductions. So "I have to go" becomes "I've gotta go." "What are you doing?" becomes "Whatcha doing?" "I do not know" becomes "I dunno." "I am going to call you later" becomes "I'm gonna call you later." Practice saying these sentences out loud, over and over, until they roll off your tongue naturally. Record yourself. Listen back. Does it sound smooth? Does it sound like something you'd hear in a movie or a podcast? If not, keep practicing. This is the day you start sounding less like a textbook and more like a human being. Day 3 is all about using common expressions and idioms that native speakers use every single day. You know what makes someone sound truly fluent? It's not perfect grammar. It's using the phrases that everyone uses without even thinking about it. Phrases like no worries, sounds good, I'm down, that's fair, for sure, my bad, hang on, I'm all set, and that makes sense. Let me paint a picture for you. You're at a cafe and the barista says, sorry, we're out of oat milk. If you say, it is okay, do not worry, you're technically correct, but you sound formal and unnatural. But if you say, no worries, I'll just have regular milk, boom, you sound like you belong, you sound comfortable, you sound natural. Here's your Day 3 challenge. Learn 10 everyday expressions. Write them down. Understand when to use them. Then, throughout the day, find opportunities to use them. If someone thanks you, say no worries or anytime. If someone suggests something, say sounds good or I'm down. If you make a small mistake, say my bad. These tiny phrases will make a massive difference in how natural you sound. Let me share a quick story. I once had a student named Carlos from Brazil. He had excellent grammar, a strong vocabulary, but everyone could tell he wasn't a native speaker. Why? Because he never used natural expressions. He would say things like, I agree with your opinion instead of just totally or for sure. After 1 week of focusing only on these common phrases, people started asking him if he grew up in the United States. That's the power of sounding natural. Day 4 is when we talk about intonation and emotion. This is huge. You can say the exact same sentence in English, but depending on how you say it, the meaning completely changes. For example, take the sentence, I didn't say she stole the money. Say it out loud, but emphasize a different word each time. I didn't say she stole the money means someone else said it. I didn't say she stole the money means you implied it but didn't say it. I didn't say she stole the money means someone else stole it, not her. You see how powerful intonation is. Native speakers don't just communicate with words. They communicate with emotion, tone, and rhythm. When they're excited, their voice goes up. When they're serious, it goes down. When they're asking a question, it rises at the end. When they're being sarcastic, there's a specific tone. You need to start paying attention to this. On day 4, watch a short video or a scene from a TV show in English. But don't just watch it. Listen carefully to how the actors say their lines. Notice where their voice rises and falls. Notice where they pause. Notice the emotion behind the words. Then, repeat the lines exactly as they said them. Mimic their tone, their speed, their energy. This exercise is gold because it trains your ear and your mouth at the same time. Day 5 is dedicated to asking questions naturally. A lot of learners can make statements in English, but when it comes to asking questions, they struggle. And here's the thing, conversations are built on questions. If you can't ask questions smoothly, you can't have a real conversation. Native speakers don't always use perfect question structures. Instead of saying, would you like to go to the movies with me? They might just say, wanna catch a movie? Instead of what time is convenient for you. They'll say, what time works for you? Instead of could you please help me? They'll say, can you give me a hand? Your mission on day 5 is to practice asking questions in a relaxed, natural way. Think about questions you ask often. How do you ask someone about their day? Instead of how was your day? Try how'd your day go? Or how was everything today? How do you invite someone to do something? Instead of formal invitations, try you free later, or wanna grab coffee. Write down 10 questions you use frequently, then rewrite them in a casual, conversational style. Practice them. Use them in real situations or at least in your head throughout the day. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. Now we're at day 6, and this is where you start thinking in English instead of translating. This is the breakthrough moment. Most people who sound unnatural are translating from their native language in their heads before they speak. That's why there's a delay. That's why the sentences sound strange. You need to start thinking directly in English. How do you do that? Start small. When you wake up, describe your morning routine in English in your head. I'm brushing my teeth. Now I'm making coffee. I need to check my emails. Throughout the day, narrate what you're doing, what you're seeing, what you're feeling, all in English. Don't translate. Just think in English. If you don't know a word, describe it in simple English or use a word you do know. Another powerful technique is to have imaginary conversations. Imagine you're talking to a friend, a boss, a stranger. What would you say? Practice that conversation out loud. Yes, you'll look a little crazy talking to yourself, but this is how you build fluency. You're training your brain to access English directly without going through translation first. Day 7 is the final piece of the puzzle, and it's all about confidence and flow. By now, you've practiced filler words, contractions, common expressions, intonation, natural questions, and thinking in English. On day 7, you bring it all together. You focus on speaking without fear, without overthinking, and without stopping yourself. Here's the truth. Sounding natural isn't just about technique. It's about confidence. It's about giving yourself permission to make mistakes, to sound imperfect, and to just keep talking. Native speakers make mistakes all the time. They stumble over words. They forget what they were saying. They use the wrong grammar. But they keep going, and that's what makes them sound fluent. Your final day challenge is this: have a real conversation in English. It can be with a language partner online, a friend, a tutor, or even recording yourself having a mock conversation. But you must speak for at least 10 minutes without stopping to correct yourself, without translating, and using all the tools you've learned this week. Use filler words. Use contractions. Use common expressions. Use natural intonation. Ask questions. Think in English. And most importantly, just let yourself speak. You will make mistakes. That's okay. You might forget a word. That's fine. You might sound a little awkward at first. That's normal. But here's what's going to happen. The more you do it, the more natural it will feel. And before you know it, sounding natural in English won't be something you have to think about. It'll just be who you are. Let me tell you something important. Learning to sound natural in English isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about connecting with people. It's about expressing yourself in a way that feels comfortable and authentic. And you absolutely can do this. You've already come so far just by watching this video and committing to this 7-day plan. So here's what I want you to do right now. Don't just watch this video and move on. Actually commit to these 7 days. Write down the plan. Set reminders. Hold yourself accountable. Because I promise you, if you do this for 7 days, you will not be the same speaker you are today. You'll be more confident, more fluent, and yes, much more natural. Remember, English is not about memorizing rules. It's about communicating, connecting, and expressing yourself. And now you have the tools to do exactly that. So go out there, practice every single day, talk to yourself, talk to others, make mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. You've got this. I believe in you. And I can't wait to hear about your progress. Keep learning, keep speaking, and I'll see you in the next video.